The average person types about 40 words a minute and they speak about 150, which means before you do anything, your mouth is already 4 times faster than your fingers. Now, let's look at my 2-week stats. So as I mentioned, the average typing speed is about 40 words per minute and the average speech is about 150. My speed on Whisper is basically 170 words per minute in terms of dictation. I'm using their pro trial and you can check your stats over here. I'm the top 7 percentile and have so far within this last 17 days have dictated over 7,000 words, and majority of them goes into AI, goes into Slack, goes into typing emails, documentations, but the speed isn't actually why I kept using it. So here's what I actually noticed. I have a lot of ideas. I message a lot of people. I update my team constantly. And honestly, I'm lazy to type. So I'd cut corners, I'd shorten my messages just to send them faster, or I would just say, let's hop on a call, because typing the full context is tiring. It takes much more time to type. So I just ask people to get on a call with me. But voice dictation, it fixed it. Now I just say what I actually mean. Flow cleans up the filler words, the grammar, all the rambling, and just organizes everything into a proper message. And I get clarity without typing at all. And that's the real unlock. So it's not speed, it takes away the friction, because within the same time I would have spent typing, I could have covered more words while just speaking freely. So before using the flow, an idea would form in my head, right? And it's too long. So I would just cut corners and ask people to hop on a call with me. But then once we hop on a call, it might take maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the time, right? And it would just take away a lot of my time and other people's time to just discuss that thing. Now with voice and with just dictation in general, an idea forms in my head and I can just speak it naturally, like within maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds with all the context. Even if the context is jumbled up, the AI within Whisperflow can just organize everything and just paste it into any app that you're using. So it basically gets rid of friction. That's what I'm getting at. So just give it a thought, right? As soon as you have a thought which you need to type out, what I've noticed is that, let's say if a person wants to reach out to people and they have a much bigger context, what they will resort to is voice notes. And it will be through WhatsApp, it will be through Instagram, it could be through Telegram or any other form of social media. Eventually, let's say if the voice note is too long, the person would be just too invested into listening to whatever the person has to say. But in some cases, some people do not want to listen to the entire thing. They just want the key points so that it just saves time for them, sort of like a transcript. But in Whisperflow's case, you can just dictate anything and just paste those texts in an organized manner. So it's much useful that way. And AI within it just gives you better output. And voice just doesn't make me type faster. It makes me give more context if I'm just dictating. Now, let's look at a demo, right? So in majority of the cases, what people do is that they would tell AI, okay, give me video ideas about AI in general. And what would happen is that the output of AI would be just too generic. So it just gives you those kind of things. But what I dictate is basically with much more context. So for example, I'll tell, okay, I have a channel called Once a Doctor, catered my content around AI audience. I have some ideas related to prototyping some business flows, tools, whatever the case is, right? So I would give it all the context and wait for it to give me a much better response, because AI is all about prompt engineering. You need to know how to type English so that the AI could have much more context. So the first test, let's try daily messages. And I want you to watch this. So what I'll do is I'll hit the function key on my MacBook and it would just trigger Whisperflow at the bottom of the screen. So if you can see at the bottom, we can use it in any application you want. Now let's test it and how good it is, right? Hey, I might be a few minutes late to the meeting because I'm finishing something up. I'll join as soon as I can. If anything's urgent before then, just send it over and I'll see it. That's it, done. So it's much faster. And within 5 seconds, typing that with the punctuation and the politeness, it would have taken me 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, 25 seconds. But I was just done within 5 to 10 seconds. And the bigger thing is that I sent the full context. Before, I would have typed running late, see you soon, and then left the rest out. But this is where most of our daily time actually goes. And it's where the friction adds up, because so I work remotely. I need to save much of my time and I've spent a lot of time on my PC. But now I need to save that time as well. So this one is one of the actual reads of AI prompts, right? And this is the main reason why I actually made this video, AI prompts in general. So most people write prompts that are too short, or they ask, give me video ideas, and wonder why the answer is generic. Now, here's what most people type, right? They would say, let's type it out. for example. So I'll click on here and say, give me YouTube video ideas about AI. That's it. But it does not use the context that you really want. Like, do you really want to make videos on every single thing? No, right? Like, you need to give it context on what you really want to make videos on. Now, within the same exact 5 seconds, what I'm going to do is, now we're going to use the flow again in this case. And within the same time span, like 5-10 seconds, I'm going to give it context. So I run a YouTube channel called Once a Doctor. My audience is people interested in AI, productivity, building things online. I want video ideas that don't sound like every other AI tutorial. Give me 5 concepts with an angle, hook, and the takeaway for each. So now I don't have to spend time typing this. It's just done. I just click on enter. It gives me everything. It gives me the hook, concept, what happens. So you have to give it context for you to get a better response. AI is as good as what you ask AI for. If you ask it stupid questions, you would get stupid answers. So we got a much better output. So this is the unlock. It's not the speed, it's that voice makes me less lazy with context. When I type, I compress. When I speak, I explain. I try to give more information. When you're explaining things, you tend to sometimes give more information than what you can actually type. So the third thing which I mostly use it for is just capturing ideas, because sometimes if I have an idea, I'll just open a notepad, Google Doc, I'll just dictate everything, whatever I want to say. Now let's use it on a native app of your computer. Let's switch here and let's use it on a notepad. In this case, I have a notepad on, right? And let's say I want to discuss, it's just an idea, right? So I'll just write idea, replace the onboarding form with a voice intake, use talks for 30 seconds. The AI parses that information into a structured field or fields, whichever is available on the webpage. And on the onboarding form, test against the form-based version. Now, as you can see, I made mistakes while talking. Now, let's see if it also captured those mistakes or not. So replace the onboarding form with a voice intake. The AI parses that information into a structured field or fields, whichever are available on the onboarding form, test against the form-based version on conversion rate. So that's it. Like, the only thing that not catch was the talks stuff, but otherwise everything was fine. In between, even though I changed my words, I said, okay, sorry, actually it's much more intuitive in that way, and I love using it. Now let's look into their website and see how are other people using it, because they have a use case section, how other people have used it, and it's much more, you can say, eye-opening, because it gives you some ideas on how else you can use it, trigger you into thinking some new business ideas or some new use cases which you can implement in different areas of your life. So let's look into it. You can write faster on all of apps on any device with speech to text in every application on your phone or computer. So which is good to know. It is on every application. It's not just a single one. As you can see, Twitter, WhatsApp, Canva, ChatGPT, and Notes, Claude, Zoom, Cursor. You can use it anywhere you want. And you have, so one thing you can do is that, let's say if we go to features, inside features, they have more information here. I'll give you a customer support example because it's a good tool if you utilize it well. What happens in certain industries is that they are still not that AI friendly, because you still need that manual intervention in some cases to understand the context, what's happening, and if there are sensitive industries, like for example, trading or financial aspect. So in those kind of cases, what those team members could do is make macros as a keyword, for example. How it works is that you can just make something into a macro. Let's show you. So you can have a snippet library. So you can name it like this, a refund timing. So each time you say refund timing in your speech, this entire 2 lines would be pasted automatically. Let's say it says my flow referral. Now, if I say my flow referral, this would automatically put in my referral link to get 1 month of Whisper Flow off for each person who uses this. So for example, let's go to ChatGPT here to just test it out, right? My flow referral. So I'll just use my flow referral. Just posted their entire thing. I don't have to type the entire words. It automatically did it for me. So this is something that you could do as well. And I'm going to put this link in the description below. So if you want to check it out, you can, go ahead and do so. It's your choice if you want to use it. If you write a lot, if you type a lot, that is when this tool would be useful for you, because you'll feel the difference. But if you don't even use it, like you don't even type that often, then it's not a tool for you. And I would recommend not installing it, right? Because in my case, if we look at it, almost close to 60K words in the last 17 days. So it is heavily used by me. Now, it doesn't mean everyone else would use that too, but yeah, just letting you know about it. Now, here's the thing. If you work in sales or any role where you message people all day, this is huge, because most teams have saved replies or scripts somewhere, but actually finding them and clicking through them, pasting them, that's a slow part and it's a slow process. But with macros and snippets like these, you don't break flow. Like, you just know what you need to say, and then it automatically does the thing for you. And you just say insert refund macro or insert pricing macro while you are already in the message, and just put things together for you. Now, the reply is in your head already, but your head don't have to chase it, right? Like you already know it, so you can just free flowingly just speak it out, talk it out. And this is why I have started giving it to my team as well. I run a fintech product team as well and a consultancy as well. Now, anyone who's a stakeholder in those companies, share it with them, like all these AI tools, so that they could also do much more in a daily basis in terms of productivity. Because sometimes, we all have these things where we have to communicate a lot, but we are not able to convey things properly sometimes. It's not just me, it's in human nature in general. Sometimes people try to say something faster, they will not be able to. They are just spending hours typing. Like this just saves you a lot of time. Now, if you look at voice, right? Voice in general isn't better than typing for everything, because typing still wins for precision, and editing a sentence, fixing code, formatting a doc, like I want my keyboard for certain set of things. But for thinking, prompting, and for like first drafts, voice is much more faster and more natural. And most importantly, it has lower friction. So if we look at like in general, if we go back to this page over here, right? So it's mostly good for, let's say, messy first drafts, long AI prompts, notes and rough ideas, voice messages, scripts, brain dumps, macros, sales, etc. But typing is still better for, let's say, file names, coding, like final polish or tight formatting, things like that, passwords and secrets. You cannot say passwords. You can say passwords using Whisperflow, but I'm not sure how private they are, things like that. So just keep that in mind as well. But basically, in general, just to summarize everything, right? Like the first 17 days actually just felt like, okay, initially it felt weird because I'm not typing. Speaking to my laptop in silence what is generally awkward sometimes, because you have to listen to yourself as well a lot. But over time, it just gets better, because I have spoken to a lot of people. They said that they don't like speaking that much. Some people do, some people don't. Sometimes they are in an environment where they do not want to speak much because maybe they're at home, there's family nearby, and sometimes they might feel awkward. Speaking in that way might feel weird, but over time, I think once you start using it and you know that it affects your productivity in a drastic way, you would keep on doing it, right? And what I also realized that this thing works. I realized that on day one, but in majority of cases, people might feel, okay, day 2 or day 3, like this thing actually works, because I shared it with some of my team members and some of them use it on this first day, but they did not actually see the use cases of it directly. It took them a while to understand, okay, what or where else they could use it. Because initially they thought that, okay, they can only use it on a document, but no, you can use it anywhere you want. And at this point, typing feels slow. Like I felt like after the first week or even after a few days of using Whisperflow, that my typing is still fast. I can still type fast, but it's slow. Like I can get a lot of context in if I'm just speaking, not just typing. Videos like this, breaking down tools, workflows, giving you maybe some ideas on how you can create your own prototypes, your own businesses using AI, and just tinkering with AI and see what works, what doesn't work. But honestly, I want to make videos that you would actually want to watch. So if you have a topic in mind, please do not hesitate to share that with me in the comment section below. And it could be related to anything. It could be related to productivity, tech, AI, medicine, university life. I don't care. Like just give me something that you would really want to see. I'll make the videos for you if you're interested in my story anyways, and drop it in the comment section. I will read all of them. If it's a good idea, I'll make a video. Hit subscribe and like the video and save it if you can. All 3 of these signals tells YouTube that you like my content. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.